Welcome back, crime sceners. Today we are discussing a new suspect that has come to light. Not new to the police. They already know about this guy, but definitely new to me. In all the time I've been doing this, I've never heard his name mentioned. So let's get to it. As usual, the disclaimer, which you can read right there, that's on the screen right now. Very important today because I'm talking about a person who I didn't know existed and who has since passed on from this world. He is deceased. I'm always very reluctant to talk about people who are dead because I feel like everyone should have a chance to tell their side of the story. And I know I talk about Craig a lot, but he has every opportunity in the world to rebut anything that I say or to tell his side of the story, and he chooses not to, so that's not the same. But talking about people who have no option to say, hey, that's not true or whatever, it does feel a bit icky to me. But this is a 42-year-old case, so a lot of people are going to be dead or are close to it, so I really don't have much choice. Before I start talking about this guy though, we have in the past talked about the receptionist and why she was going to the photographer's house. Now, I have been told by someone the reason that she went there, and I'm not going to say anything more about that, but I will say that it was completely innocent. I believe everything I was told about it, and I'll just leave it at that. I've also been told by a different person some information about Nanette's trip to Queensland, and although I still don't know why she actually went, it doesn't seem like it has anything to do with why she was murdered. I don't want to say too much because I have promised these people that I will maintain their privacy, and I could be wrong about it. It could have something to do with it. But at this moment in time, I'm not convinced it's part of the story. But just to be transparent with you all, she went by bus. She didn't go by plane, she went by bus. And apparently there had been some bus crashes at that time, and that's why she wrote the will. Now, we don't know if this is really true or not. I mean, Nanette could have told people that that was the reason, and it could have been something completely different. We don't know what was going through her mind. So maybe she said this was the reason, and, it might not have been. We just don't know. Not saying that this person who told me this is lying, of course, but maybe they were lied to. Not saying that Nanette was lying either. I'm not saying anyone's lying at all, in case you didn't get my roundabout way of that. I think maybe sometimes people get a little bit antsy when you say the word lie or liar, because if I was going to Queensland and I didn't want anyone to know the reason I was going up there, and so I told everybody else, oh, I'm just going up there for a holiday, or told them some other reason that I was going up there just because I didn't want people to know because it was private, people were asking, so I've just come up with an excuse to go up there. I don't know if I would like to be called a liar, even though I've technically lied. Does that make sense? I guess my point really is, do we really ever know what somebody's doing? Because she's not here to tell us the real reason why she went there. So people were told by her that she wrote the will because she was afraid of bus crashes, but it really could be any reason. She just didn't want to tell people. I mean, I don't necessarily think that makes her a liar. I think that's just like social stuff, isn't it? When you don't want people to know what you're really doing or what you're really doing something for. Especially when people are really pushy and invasive with their questions as well, which I've had some experience with. On both sides, by the way. Sometimes I can be pushy and invasive too. She also could have written that will because she was afraid of the bus crashes that have been happening. I mean, she could have actually been telling the truth. That could be the reason why she wrote the will. We just don't know because we can't ever get to the source now, thanks to some disgusting murderer. But it would be good to find out what she went to Queensland for. I mean, that would still be good to find out. So if anyone knows, let us know. All right, on to this new suspect. Now, keep in mind that what I'm about to tell you has all come from other people. Now, I did some research and I couldn't find anything about this guy at all, like nothing. So don't take it as gospel truth. I'm not saying these people are lying at all, but as we've talked about before, time, memory, all that sort of stuff. So I'm just going to say everything that was told to me about this person and we'll just sort it out from there. So this person that we're going to be talking about is Brian. Now, who the hell is that? That's what I said when I first heard the name. Now, apparently, he was Margot's husband. Margot being the boss at the Free Press where Nanette worked and a very close friend of Nanette, if you haven't been listening. She also was one of the ones that was supposed to go out with her the night that Nanette was killed. So it turns out that there are quite a few people that have a lot to say about Brian. There are a couple of people there who are absolutely convinced that he killed Nanette, which spun me out because in all this time he has never come up in conversation with anyone that I've spoken to about this. I actually asked somebody who has given me a lot of information if they knew anything about him, and they said to me that they didn't even know Margot was married. One person told me that he was quite unkempt looking and Margot was embarrassed by him. I am told that they had quite a rocky marriage and didn't even sleep in the same bed. And when I asked what his motive would be, quite a few people told me that he was very jealous of Nanette and didn't like Margot going out with her. I guess because Nanette was single and pretty and got a lot of attention and he didn't want his wife getting the attention as well. I don't know. It seems like a lame reason to kill someone, but I've known plenty of men like this over the years, and some of them would absolutely be capable of this. But this was from quite a few people as well, and I always tend to believe something that comes from more than one source. So I was also told that Brian was friends with the police sergeant, so take from that what you will, not saying anything at all, but that's just something that was told to me that I would like to pass on to you guys. And one person said they were 100% convinced that Brian threw the rocks at Nanette's car, but they weren't sure if he actually killed her. I was also told that Brian had gone into the Free Press office to argue with Margot and had to be removed by police twice. So if this is true, he doesn't sound like he was the most stable of creatures. And that's really all I found out about him. But what do you think? Do you think he could be a viable suspect? Do you think that he could have been so mad at Nanette that he would do that to her just because his wife was going out with her all the time? I mean, that could have been a motive, I guess, based on what these people have said to me, and many people did say it. He wouldn't have needed to break and enter. She probably would have let him in, being her friend's husband. If this did happen, I don't think he went over there to kill her, and I base that on the fact that Craig's knife was used, apparently. I will say allegedly Craig's knife was used. So usually when something in the house is used by a person who doesn't live in the house, who's outside from the house, it probably means they didn't actually go there to kill, but probably have become so enraged that they just grabbed something nearby. I mean, maybe he went over to confront her and Nanette told him where to go and he just lost it. I mean, I'd probably do the same thing if I was going out with my friend and I'm single and footloose and fancy free and I'm having fun with my friend and, you know, we're doing all this stuff together and stuff. If her husband came over and said, I don't like you going out together because, you know, you're single and I don't think that my married wife should be going out with you, I would be just like, just give it a break. Just chill, man. I mean, what does it matter? She's not doing anything wrong. So maybe in that situation, I would have been stabbed to death. But I don't think that Nanette would have been afraid of him, really. So maybe she did let him in the house. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. And just to finish off though, I did have one person say that the police insinuated, didn't say it, insinuated to them that it was not Brian. And I have another one who said they never tested Brian's DNA. So those two statements are sort of conflicting and I don't know which one is the truth. Hopefully we can find out, but I think it's pretty clear that the police won't tell us whether they tested his DNA or not. So we'll just keep trudging along. But I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories, so leave them in the comments. And if you knew Brian, I would love to hear from you. Email is in the description.